He is the face of genius, a man whose ideas reshaped our understanding of reality itself. His name, a synonym for brilliance. But behind the iconic images, the wild hair, and the world-changing equations, there was a man grappling with doubt, heartbreak, and profound loneliness. This is the untold story of Albert Einstein, a journey beyond the myth, into the heart of a human who dared to question everything. Born in Ulm, Germany, in 1879, young Albert was not an obvious prodigy. He was a quiet, late-talking child, often lost in thought. While his classmates memorized facts and followed rigid rules, Albert was captivated by the unseen forces of the universe. A simple compass, given to him by his father, sparked a lifelong wonder. Why did the needle always point north? This invisible force fascinated him more than any textbook lesson. His teachers saw him as rebellious, a dreamer who questioned authority. They failed to see that his quiet defiance was the seed of a revolution. He was not a poor student, but an uninspired one, bored by a system that demanded conformity over curiosity. His real education took place in his own mind, in the quiet moments spent pondering the mysteries of light and motion. He was already beginning to see the world, not as it was presented, but as it might be. This relentless questioning would become the guiding principle of his life, leading him away from the well-trodden paths of conventional thinking and into uncharted intellectual territory. After renouncing his German citizenship to avoid military service, Einstein found himself in Switzerland, a young man with big ideas but few prospects. He struggled to find an academic position, eventually taking a humble job as a clerk at the Swiss Patent Office in Bern. To many, it would have seemed like a detour, a dead end. But for Einstein, it was an unexpected gift. The work was simple, leaving his mind free to wander through the cosmos. Surrounded by patent applications for new inventions, he spent his days evaluating the mechanics of clocks and telegraphs devices designed to synchronize time. This daily immersion in the practical problems of time and space fueled his theoretical explorations. During his lunch breaks, on his walks home, and late into the night, he wrestled with the fundamental questions that had haunted him since childhood. He imagined chasing a beam of light, questioning what he would see. He pondered the very nature of time, wondering if it flowed the same for everyone, everywhere. In the quiet solitude of the patent office, far from the pressures of academia, Einstein was laying the groundwork for a complete upheaval of physics. Then came 1905, his annus mirabilis, his miracle year. At just 26 years old, while still a patent clerk, Einstein published for papers that would forever alter the course of science. In one, he proved the existence of atoms by observing their effect on larger particles. In another, he introduced the theory of the photoelectric effect, explaining that light behaves not just as a wave, but also as a stream of tiny energy packets called photons, a concept that would become the foundation of quantum mechanics. His third paper introduced the special theory of relativity, proposing that the laws of physics are the same for all non-accelerating observers and that the speed of light in a vacuum is constant. This radical idea shattered Newton's centuries-old concepts of absolute space and time. And as a final, breathtaking conclusion, he derived the most famous equation in history, E equals mc squared. In this elegant formula, he revealed the astonishing relationship between mass and energy, unlocking a secret of the universe that would have profound and terrifying consequences for the century to come. For a decade, his ideas were debated, but the world truly took notice in 1919. His general theory of relativity, a new theory of gravity, made a bold prediction that the immense gravity of the sun would bend the starlight passing near it. During a solar eclipse, expeditions led by Sir Arthur Eddington photographed the stars around the darkened sun. The results were staggering. The stars were not where they should have been. Their light had been bent, just as Einstein had predicted. The news exploded across the globe. Newspapers heralded a new scientific hero. Revolution in science, one headline declared, "New theory of the universe." Einstein was transformed overnight from an obscure physicist into a global celebrity. Crowds mobbed him wherever he went. He was no longer just a scientist. He had become a symbol of human intellect, a sage who had peered into the mind of God. His journey from the quiet patent office to the world stage was complete. He was the most famous scientist on Earth, but fame came at a cost. Behind the public persona was a private life marked by turmoil and sorrow. His first marriage to Mileva Merrick, a fellow physicist of brilliant intellect, dissolved under the strain of his relentless focus on his work and the tragic loss of their first child. The letters between them reveal a painful descent from intellectual partnership to bitter estrangement. His relationships with his sons became distant, leaving a void of regret that would haunt him for the rest of his life. Even his second marriage, to his cousin Elsa, was complex, providing him with care and stability, but lacking the deep intellectual connection he once craved. Einstein, the man who had unlocked the secrets of the cosmos, found the human heart to be a far more bewildering mystery. He often retreated into the solitude of his work, finding comfort in the elegant certainty of physics that he could not find in the messy, unpredictable world of human emotion. As his fame grew, so did the darkness descending upon Europe. As a prominent Jew and an outspoken pacifist, Einstein became a target for the rising Nazi Party in Germany. His books were burned, his theories denounced as Jewish physics. In 1933, he made the difficult decision to leave his homeland forever, accepting a position at the Institute for Advanced Study in Princeton, New Jersey. America became his refuge, but the world's conflicts followed him. When he learned that German scientists were attempting to split the atom, he was faced with a terrible dilemma. Fearing that Hitler's regime could develop an atomic bomb, he was persuaded to sign a letter to President Franklin D. Roosevelt, urging the United States to begin its own nuclear research. This act, born of a desire to prevent a greater evil, would forever link the world's most famous pacifist to the creation of its most destructive weapon. It was a burden he would carry with profound sadness for the remainder of his days. In his final years in Princeton, Einstein became a kind of elder statesman for science and humanity. He walked the quiet streets, a familiar and beloved figure, his mind still wrestling with the universe's deepest puzzles. He spent his last decades in a determined, yet ultimately fruitless, search for a unified field theory, a single, elegant theory that could describe all the forces of nature. He never found it, yet he never lost the sense of wonder that had driven him since he was a child with a compass. He remained a passionate advocate for peace, civil rights, and intellectual freedom until his last breath. He passed away in 1955, leaving behind a few pages of equations, his final attempt to grasp the ultimate theory. Albert Einstein's true legacy is not just his revolutionary science. It is his unwavering spirit of inquiry, his profound humanity, and his timeless reminder: the important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing.